What's going on, guys? So if you've been following my channel for any length of time, I'm using the word length, no pun intended. You don't even know what I'm talking about yet. I'm not talking about my dangle, if you know what I mean. The angle of the dangle, baby. It's all about the angle of the dangle. How am I going to get back into this? I've just derailed myself already. I've spoken to you guys at length about nylon straps. We can't legally say NATO because that's trademarked, copywritten, whatever. Someone else is gatekeeping that term. So we're going to call these nylon straps. I like wearing nylon straps because they are incredibly functional, especially if you have a watch that is more field watchy, more tool watchy, something you use out and about where you might get knocked around a bit. If it's going to get down and dirty, put the watch on a nylon strap like this. Okay. Ooh, I bumped it. So this is my OD green DW5600 variant. It's a 5610 to be exact. And you see a very well-worn, dirty Wrist Candy Watch Club nylon strap. Now, I've had this on here since I've owned this watch, and I haven't owned this watch specifically for a very long time, but guess what? This was also on my Hamilton khaki field for 3 years. This is a 3-year-old nylon strap, and I wear it all the time. You can tell because it is filthy, and guess what? Like very, very minimal wear. It's well worn as far as you can tell I've worn it, but it's not really like falling apart. There's not much fraying by the holes. It's just very well constructed, and that's why I pretty much exclusively choose Wrist Candy Watch Club. Now, there's another reason. The length, okay? It's true. Size matters, guys. With my wrist, just over 7.5 inches, finding a nylon strap that actually fits properly, where there's enough extra material to wrap under the keepers, like to tuck back under the keepers, it's very hard to find. It's crazy that other strap makers haven't figured this out. They only make these straps for like very slender wrist people, because when I choose other people's nylon straps, I've noticed that extra length is just too minimal to be tucked back, and it just kind of dangles there, so I have to cut it, which defeats the purpose of having that extra material, so that if you use this over a parka or a coat or even a wetsuit, you have that extra material there that you can give yourself some added real estate on the strap. But it's, most strap makers just can't figure it out. So that being said, I think you should check out Wrist Candy Watch Club. Use my link, wristcandywatchclub.com/discount/teller. I think that's what it is. We're going to put it on screen. I'm going to leave it in the description below. They're sponsoring this episode, so we really do thank them. All right, guys. Love you. Let's get into the episode.
Your soul is mine.
I have no soul. It is 2:59 p.m. Let's get down to business. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and today we're talking about battery-powered watches. All right, so you've probably seen an episode where I mentioned Timex and why I think Timex is really, really cool, and it's a collector's watchmaker. And I also mentioned in that episode that the two best Timexes, in my opinion, use batteries. Well, that kind of opened a can of worms, especially when I mentioned that same thing in a recent live stream. I'm going to talk about the proverbial bomb that I dropped in the live stream in this episode today. So just brace yourself, because it's bound to, I don't know, have some people clutching their pearls. But to cut to the chase, years ago now, I made an episode talking about why you should wear a Quartz watch every day. I'll leave a link that you can click like up in the corner, and I'll leave a link in the description below so you can watch that full episode in all its glory. But here's the cliff notes. They're convenient, right? They're always running. You don't have to wind it. You don't have to leave it on a watch winder. You don't have to shake them up and give them a jiggle and make sure that they're running and ready to go. They're always going. Wind it up, give them a shake, give them a jiggle. That's going to get us demonetized. Anime tease. The next is you can wear Quartz anywhere, right? Theoretically, they're more robust than most mechanical watches because they have less moving parts, and because they're more resilient to getting knocks or bumps, and they're more resistant to magnetism than most mechanical movements, and they're very low maintenance. Some quartz watches are serviceable, right? The higher end ones, the more expensive ones, the more advanced ones, like the 7C46 in my Seiko Tuna, that's a serviceable quartz movement, but the service intervals are very, very different than a mechanical watch. You can go years and 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 years, and the only form of service you'll need to do is really just a battery change. Another reason is that they're more accurate than most mechanical movements, and they're just easier to have on your wrist day to day for all the reasons I described. Which brings us to this shocking admission that I mentioned in one of my recent live streams. I don't know how to even say this. 99% of the time, I am wearing a quartz watch. It's true. It is true. I run the Time Teller shop where I sell predominantly mechanical vintage watches. Most of my collection, like 90% of my collection, is mechanical watches. Yet I find myself wearing quartz watches every single day. And again, for the reasons I just listed, but I want to share with you some of the watches that I find myself wearing with, like, extreme consistency. The first being my G-Shock Neo Tokyo. Okay, this is a DW6900 variant, negative display, beautiful watch, the most intuitive buttons. The button layout is just perfect. Great backlight, gives me that kind of retro anime feel. I absolutely love this G-Shock. Easily my favorite G-Shock ever made. The next would be another G-Shock. It's a 5600 variant. It's my OD green negative display on a NATO strap. Man, another just badass, easy to wear watch, and again, battery powered. The next watch you'll see me wearing, like, almost every day of the week, honestly, is a watch I just mentioned, my Tuna SBBN 031. It's a big boy. It breaks a lot of my rules, how it's well above 40 millimeters. It's not within my sweet spot when it comes to dimensions. It's battery powered. It's so funny. You know, people always call me a snob because I mention my Reverso, I mention my Rolexes, and vintage watches are my thing, and blah, 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 blah. Dude, I wear digital watches like most days of the week, and if not, I'm wearing something cool like a Tuna, which is also battery powered. I'm not a snob. And then you're gonna say, well, the Tuna's over $1,000. Okay, what about the next watch that I wear all the time? The SSC 081 Solar Chronograph Compass. I think that was like a $200 watch when I got it. I made a whole episode talking about how that's the most impressive watch I own because people always give me compliments when I wear that watch. It's bizarre. I could wear my yellow gold President, people won't bat an eye. I walk around with that watch on a man cave leather rally strap, and people are like, hey, what is that? It's insane. It's probably one of my least expensive watches, and it's a stunner. And then, speaking of affordable watches, and speaking of probably literally the cheapest watch I own, my Casio twin sensor. It's not even a G-Shock. It has twin sensor capability, a ton of functionality, a really decent strap for the price. I think I got this like $30 or something. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below. Again, when you click that link, the Amazon affiliate link, my channel does get a kickback. We do appreciate it. But it is such a badass, easy to wear, easy to read watch, and I don't have to baby it. I don't have to worry about it, and I wear it like almost every day. Guys, it's insane. So 9 times out of 10, if you bump into me, I'm going to be wearing a battery-powered watch. That's just how it is. So yes, I love mechanical watches. I love these higher beat watches with very smooth secondhand sweeps. I love, display case backs showing off the mechanical components and all the parts working together and the beauty that is mechanical watchmaking. But if you bump into me in a coffee shop or at the mall or wherever, I'm probably going to be wearing a quartz watch. So please, don't look down on you or your watch collection or anyone else wearing a quartz watch, because having a soul is overrated.